What is up, everybody? It is BooyahMan85. Okay. Luckily, my tutorial that I just made that you're about to watch in the next video, my video is recorded properly, and we have my microphone audio included in said video recording. However, the introduction video, my mic was not included, so I have to redo the entire demonstration. Yeah. I had to record this in two parts because OBS took a dump halfway through the opening video tutorial explaining the logic gates and how they work in order for people to understand what's going on in the factory. This is a vanilla tutorial. There are mods currently running, but none of them are required to build and operate the factory. It's all vanilla components, as long as you have all the DLC. Okay, I think I can hear my microphone. So let's keep going. We just finished building it, and I was about to start editing it and highlighting it for YouTube, and realized that my introduction video, I'm muted. So, whatever. I have to redo the intro video. Whatever. Okay, long story short, power grid's right here just to get the factory up and running. There's my first draft, and then there's the built one we just built that you're going to build in about 20 minutes. Real quick, I'm going to explain how it works. So, power is coming out of the electrical substation to your normal everyday power lines. The power lines are going to come into a factory, to a conduit, to a primary switch. This is the main breaker. Main breaker is powered, which then powers the computer, which then begins our demonstration. Main power, for the purposes of this tutorial, this is the sorter switch, the conveyor belt line, that's the ammo, that's the purge line to empty out the ammo plant with a vacuum hopper, and our mutually exclusionary rule. In order to power the purge line, the sorter has to be on, and we need the main breaker to be on. So you could do that. What also you could technically do is have this switch have a straight line to that switch, which removes this switch, which removes this logic gate. This logic gate's technically not required, but I think it looks cool. But technically this switch only directly needs power from the sorter. That's literally the main issue. Because all the AND gate basically says is if both inputs are on, the output is on. So that switch is on, that switch is on, both lines are on, 2 to 1, this switch is on, which then powers this switch, but this switch is off for the purposes of this demonstration. This is the purge, that's the ammo factory, and this is the sorting system. In order for the ammo plant to work, the conveyor belts need to be on. Let's turn on the ammo plant. And you will notice the ammo plant is currently running, which is going to this switch right here. Yeah. Try to position my OBS so everybody can see what we're doing. Yeah. Can I? No, I can't really do that. Okay. So, what's happening here, David? We need to create an argument. Logic gates are designed to answer questions in computer logic. These are Boolean logic gates. Now, the way they're working in this game is they're acting like on-off switches for electricity. Normally, a logic gate works with or without power. However, these respond to power, therefore their logic is power-based. Okay. These two conduits up top are the inputs for the two arguments. One for the left, one for the right. The one on the right is for the ammo plant. The one for the left is for the purge line. Here are your two output corridors. The output for both sides is exactly identical as one side to the other. This is your output diode right here. And there's the output diode for that side. That's for the purge. That's for the ammo. That's why the ammo plant is on. That's why it's over here. That's the purge line output. There are several logic gates in the game. We're only going to use 4 of them for this particular argument. The argument logically states that we have 2 production lines. We have ammunition crafting and the reclamation, the recall of the materials that are currently trapped inside of the ammo plant. So we need to empty out the ammo plant and put those resources back into the sorting system to be used later for later ammo creation. Or you could leave the resources in the ammo plant if you choose to, which makes this complete tutorial useless. However, we're assuming the fact that you're scrounging your ingredients and you want to take the items out automatically out of the ammo plant when you're done crafting your bullets. Okay. So, left side's the purge, right side in this example is the ammo plant. The logic states that we have 2 inputs, the weapon and the purge. We want them to have an argument with the logic gates that says, I only want either or assembly line to work, and I only want it to work. I only want one production line to work at a time. I want them to cancel each other out because I don't want both lines running at the same time. I only want one conveyor on at a time. I never want both lines to be on at the same time. Let's see, hang on. I want one plant working at a time. I don't care which plant is operating at either time. I want one operating exclusively at a time, and when both plants are operating, I want the system to shut down. Those are our 4 arguments. Each one of those arguments corresponds to one of the 4 gates on each side of the build. Yep. The first one, I don't care which ammo plant is running, which side is working. I just want one of them working at either time. Is this second one? This is the OR. This is the NOR gate. I think. No, the XOR. Mutually exclusive. No, it's the bottom. The bottom one. The bottom to the top. The bottom says if one input, it's the XOR gate. Mutually exclusive. So the arguments that we currently have from top to bottom is not, nor, XNOR, and XOR. Those are all the 4 gates that we're using. Yeah. So, because the ammo plant is on, I want the purge line to be off. So let's walk through the logic. This switch goes to this conduit. Weapons go to this side. The weapons are on. So let's follow the opposite to the on, which is the argument for off. If the weapon plant is on, the purge line has to be off. In order to do that, we follow the purge line to this conduit to the NOT gate for the weapon system, the ammo factory. If the output is on, which is the switch is turned on, Here, let's switch it. Just so we can show the argument. Okay. Both switches are on, which is a direct no. Yes. Yeah. It looks right. I thought there was something screwy on the bottom. Okay. Both switches are on. So this is the not argument. What this basically says is, if the switch is pulled for the opposite side that I don't want to operate, give an output, which is sending an output to the NOR gate. If there is an input signal coming in from the NOT gate, which it's clearly doing, because it's inverting the signal, it's going, hey, this logic gate is being powered because it's powered by a NOT gate. Therefore, we're going to give an output in the opposite side. So, the NOT gate is on, therefore the output is off. The output is off, which is the NOR argument. If there is at least one switch on, no, if there's at least one switch off, there's one switch off, which is the NOT gate, then give an output, which sends an output to the XNOR gate. Okay. The XNOR gate basically says, if there are two inputs that are the same, give an output. And then invert it. All right, let's see, hang on. That's on. They're both on, and that's on. Okay. So, basically, in order for the argument to be, I don't know how to explain this in simple terms. Both switches are on, therefore the output is on. Because the argument wants to say, if only one switch is on, exactly one switch is on, turn off the output. But because both switches are on, it reverses it and it makes the output on, because there's more than one switch on. Which basically tells the world, hey, I don't want this to happen, turn it off. Because I want to use that power to turn off the electrical. This is confusing. So, because both switches are on, the output is on. Because it's not one or the other, it's both. I don't want both on, which is why we're powering this switch. Turn off this mutually exclusive OR gate. The mutually exclusive XOR gate says exactly one output can be on, input can be on, in order for us to give an output. But because the mutually exclusive XNOR gate is on, and so is that switch over there, because both switches are on, we're going to turn off the output, which comes out of here, which then goes to the ammo plant. If you're following me along and you're still with me, congratulations. We're halfway through. Now, both logic gates are exactly the same, they're just for the other purpose. This one's for the weapons, this one's for the purge line. The arguments are exactly the same because I never want both on at the same time. I only want one on at a time. And if any other switches are pulled, I want the system to shut down. That's what it means. So, we turn off both switches. There's no electricity going through the logic gates, therefore the logic gates die. The weapon workshop, the ammo plant is on. Therefore, the XOR gate is activated because only exactly one input is on. This wire right here, which is directly linked to the switch, and this output is off. Therefore, exactly one input is on. Therefore, give an output to the ammo plant. And these 3 gates are off because the purge line is off. That makes sense? And the purge line is off because the switch is off. Therefore, the logic gates argue that if the switches is off, then turn off the purge line. Now, like I showed you before, if both switches are on, both arguments are in argument of each other, therefore both outputs turn off, which is this little guy down here and that little guy down there. So, from top down, the NOT gate, because both switches are on, they're giving their outputs to both sides. The NOT gate is on, therefore the output is turned off, because it's inverted, which is sending power to the second gate, which is the NOR gate, which is if the output is off because it's being inverted from NOT, then give an output. Because electricity cannot, because you can't go from the NOT gate to the XNOR gate, number 3, and have it power the system, because it's relying on electrical current to flow through the gate in order for the gate to respond to the argument. And because of that, we have to add row 2 into the logic gate progression in order to give electricity output. Normally, you wouldn't need this. But because it's electrical current logic, we have to add the NOR gate in order to reverse the NOT gate's output in order to tell it, hey, the other switch is on, turn off this argument. Or turn on the argument, stop the flow of electricity. So, row 2, the NOR gate is on, literally there just to invert the signal from the NOT gate above it. Now, that signal, the second row, is going down to the XNOR gate. Again, the XNOR gate basically says if there are 2 outputs, I only want the output to be turned off when exactly one switch is on. But because both switches are on, the output is on. So for instance, if I turn off the purge, and we follow the argument logic right here, exactly one input is on, because the purge line is off, and we're getting the on signal from the weapon workshop. So the weapon is on. So the weapon is on, the output is off, the input is off, it's a NOR gate, the output is on, we're inverting the signal from the NOT gate. Exactly one input is on from the NOR gate to the XNOR gate, mutually exclusive, because the purge line is off and the weapon workshop is on. Turn off the output, which then turns off the input for the XOR gate, because the switch is off, which is this wire, and the weapon workshop is on, which we're inverting the signal. Both inputs are off, therefore the output for the purge line is off by default. You follow me? Now, from the other side, the weapon workshop is on, so both of these 2 wires right here are both on. So the XNOR gate and the XOR gate are both on, and so is the NOT gate for the other side. The purge line is off, so not only is the switch off, but no electricity is making it to this gate to begin with. This is why Fallout requires the power, the electrical current to flow, because right now, logically, this gate would say, if the output is off, if the input is off, turn on the output. So technically, this light would be on right now on this side, which would power the XNOR gate. So this light would be on as well, which is then inverting the signal, because we're inverting the signal if one gate is on, which would turn off this output. So, even with the restrictions of the Fallout engine in order to provide Boolean logic to electrical currents, the argument still accomplishes the same objectives, even though this output and this input are supposed to be on at this moment on this side, which then turns off this output. But because this output's off, because no electricity is flowing through the gate anyways, it still accomplishes the same objective. This output needs to be off, which sends an off input to the XNOR gate. And because we're not receiving any power and the switch for the weapon ammo plant is on, exactly one switch is on, therefore the output is off. The output is off, but the switch is on. There's exactly one input on, which then powers the ammo workshop. If that's got your head spinning, don't worry. In the tutorial, I walk you through how to put it together, and it's super easy to understand. But trying to understand Boolean logic and computer programming and, you know, computer programming, it's really cool. I like it. So, and again, if both switches get turned on, both outputs get turned off on the bottom, and both arguments are active, and exactly one switch is on, we have an output corresponding to the switch that's currently on, and when both switches are off, no power can pass through the gates. That was the first video. Sit back and enjoy the tutorial. All credits for the two gentlemen, both Peabody 1001 and Dasher Smurf. All four of their videos corresponding to the revision of this wonderful tutorial layout will be linked in the description of both videos, part 1 and part 2. I will upload them together, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace.